All right, welcome back to part 2 on our series of looking at a YouTube video. We saw how that YouTube will automatically generate a transcript, closed captioning. And if you aren't the creator of the video, you can access the transcript down here. You can enable the closed captions and see the transcript. But if it's your video, you can actually go through the YouTube Studio and access the subtitles or the captions. And so where we left off was we downloaded the files, and actually there were sort of two ways to go about it. All right, the one on the left hand side, this is actually where I clicked and dragged within the video player, and then this is what I got. And then this one took a few more clicks. So it's really kind of up to you how you want to do it. Now, let's say we have this, and I said how you could sort of go in and delete the stuff you don't want, but that's going to take a lot of work. And so what we try to do is how can we use some other tools to help us automate or scale up the work that we're going to do. So right now I want you to pause the video for a moment for both the left and the right hand side, both files. If you had to give instructions to somebody else, right, or in this case a computer, how would you instruct them to capture the text that you want? All right, so pause, all right, and then you can come back. All right, the way that I would think about it, well, on the left-hand side, okay, what's the pattern here? Well, it's every other line is with the text you want. And so if the text was really short, or if you had a lot of time, you could actually go through and do that. And then how would you describe for the third one? Again, pause if you haven't already, all right? Instead of every other, it's every third. And this is just based on what it has been given you. And this is a really important, powerful tool or sort of workflow that you can think through. And even if you've never done any sort of programming before, programming, coding, it's just very specific instructions. And there's different tools that you can go about doing it. In fact, there's actually a terminal command, and terminal within the Mac OS is a way to sort of do lower level commands to the computer. And that, I think, you know, if people really want to see that, I'd be happy to show that. But if you haven't really used the terminal and command line before, you probably shouldn't mess around with it until you get a decent handle on it. What we can do is we can use a spreadsheet, all right, whether Excel, Google Sheets. I have a number of videos on Google Sheets if you need a refresher on that. So I've already sort of inserted some of the information here just to get us going. And what we'll do is I am going to delete the text. So what I've done here is I am creating this index. I'm just sequencing it 1 through however many. Okay, so you can make a spreadsheet. If you haven't done this before, you can do 1, 2, 3, highlight, and then click and drag, and it'll automatically populate that sequence. Okay, so you do that. Now, in this case, I'm going to take the text from the one where it's kind of like every third line. So I'm going to copy that, move over, I'm going to paste. All right, and so, okay, so far so good. And so what I'm gonna do, and there may be other ways to do it, so if other people out there have a better way, awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make use of this thing called mod or modulo, and it's a way to extract the remainder from a division. All right, what does that mean? Within Google Sheets, you can do type equals mod. All right, insert the modulo operator. And so it's saying it returns the result of a modulo operator, the remainder after a division operation. So fancy way to say, you're going to say 10 divided by 4, right? 10 divided by 4, so we have 2, right? 4 times 2 is 8. The remainder would be 2. So if we actually did that, let's just do that right now. 10, 4, okay, oops. All right, it's 2. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, I'm going to take the cell, and this one is a little bit off, although it actually doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to say take the cell to the right of me and divide it by 3 and give me the remainder. All right, and so I'm just going to do this real quick thing where I update my formula. All right, and you'll see this actually builds a pattern. All right, we said that there's this sort of pattern of every 3. So you see that? So every, let's say our text in question. All right, it doesn't actually matter what the remainder is as long as all the column A's that are 2 are our words. And how we can make sure that this actually works is we can go up to filter, create a filter. Top right here, you might have to enlarge your window, create a filter. And we're going to say, hey, Google Sheets, okay, click on this icon right here. We are only going to show the rows that have the column A value of 2. Boom, we have all of our text. I can copy, bring it over to a new doc, and then paste. I'm ready to go. All right. Now let me show you with the other one. All right. With the other one, what was the pattern that we saw? Every other. So likewise, we're going to create an index 1 through however many rows that you have. And again, take a look at the Google Sheets basics. That'll sort of get you situated there. You can see indeed our text every other, all right? And so sort of, you could probably sort. Well, actually, no, if you sort, right, that's not going to work because the first letter of each line is all over the place. So rather, we're imposing the structure. The structure is embedded through column B, 1 through n, however many lines there are. And instead of mod 3, we're going to do mod 2, basically odd or even. So we're going to say, hey, take the value in column B, divide it by 2, and give me the remainder. So because it's divided by 2, we know that any of the even numbers are going to have no remainder and any odd numbers 1. So again, there's this math involved. You should understand it, but it's a way to sort of trick the computer, or not even trick the computer. It's telling the computer, hey, these are the values that I want. So once again, go to the cell, highlight the cell there, and go to filter. And we're going to say, hey, Google, only show me values in 1. And once again, I can highlight everything, and should be exactly the same. Now, once you have the text, you're gonna have to go through, edit, add punctuation. You have to do this sort of delete space. Okay, so this is gonna take a bit of work, but again, this is all to say you have a video, you have sort of talked about it, but you didn't have a script. You're trying to extract that out. We had the subtitle files since last time here, and then we're using Google Sheets to help us extract. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.